Everybody, stop. Hey, everybody, stop for a second. They have the rights to talk just as much as we do. Listen to them, and then they can listen to us. The whole horn thing, that's adorable, brother, but I'm trying to keep everybody listening, so can you cut it off, please? I'm trying to get everybody to talk together. You ain't causing nothing but more of an issue, so will you cut off the Ford? Cut off the Ford so we can talk. All you're doing is causing more division. So if you want to talk, come talk. That's all it is. If you want to honk your horn, honk the horn. But let us communicate. We're letting people talk. So keep your truck shut up.
That's probably one of the reasons why I just want to stay home and play Minecraft.
If we don't have open communication, ain't no point in nobody being out here, and we can all get cars and go home. But they can communicate just as well as we can. Please, let's all communicate. We got a good conversation going right here. What he saw was one thing. It might not have been exactly what he saw online, what he read about. It's wrong. So yeah, I agree. Let's educate people. But we can do it.
Bro, I think I put too much paint on the L because my thing's starting to crumble.
All are calm, we all talk.
Everybody got like a Facebook. I can make 3 comments on Facebook. Don't worry, I don't have wasting comments. You know what I'm saying? I never remember something about people. Like they said something about something they didn't erase it. The truth like that article be erased. What place is it? That's the way it's everybody's making an
I'm trying to show you.
Where are they going?
If she wants to take the microphone, if this gentleman in the camouflage wants to take the microphone, I'm going to let them take the microphone too. We are all here, we are all Americans, and we are all going to speak together. Because until we come together as Americans, we will continue to be divided. And if we stay divided, we will fall, we will die, and they will win in the government. That's all there is to it.
That's why Dustin's allowed to check.
You good? You good?
Yeah, got me as a chosen.
Huh?
Who were you cussing?
I don't know. I was cussing at whoever said fuck me. With 2 middle fingers. Bitch, I got 10 middle fingers. I'm like, Wayne, what? You didn't know? I scream fuck you all day.
His wife's watching.
Who's wife?
Dustin.
Oh, okay.
Man, it's hotter than the other day.
Because when we do stuff like that,
I get back to my
Comes the
life.
police. You hear me?
Oh, wait. How do I get back to it? Am I still alive? Am I still alive?
What'd she say?
She said all lives matter. They got police coming up on us everywhere,
Hey.
y'all, from behind. From the side. Yeah, I'm gonna send a little ass though.
This is what democracy looks like! This is
What democracy looks like!
what democracy looks like!
What democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
No, it's not.
What?
Democracy looks like!
What's that? I don't know what that means. No peace. No peace.
When do all lives matter?
Rachel's watching.
When black lives matter? When do all lives matter? When black lives matter? When do all lives matter? When black lives matter? Did we say their lives don't matter? No. No. Have we ever said their lives don't matter? No. When will all lives matter? When black lives matter? No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
All right, everybody, can we listen to what the other people have to say? Everybody listening. Everybody on that side listening. Everybody on this side. Open forum. Who wants the microphone that can keep their emotions in check? I don't want no cussing enough time, okay?
Careful, there's signs blowing everywhere.
Alright, who wants to hear a story?
Excuse me, real quick.
Who wants to hear a story? Alright,
Someone.
so,
Shoot.
who was taught in school that America was a melting pot of the world? Who was taught
Me.
that? We were taught that all races, nationalities, religions, everyone can come together in one country and live in peace and harmony. And as a kid, that was great, right? That was amazing. We all thought, like, oh man, we all love each other here. And I thought that for the longest time. I grew up on Navy housing. I mean, we had Africans, we had whites, we had Asians, Latinos. Everyone was good. Then I moved to a small town of Cohen, Arkansas, 15 miles down the road with my mixed family. My African American brother, who is mentally disabled, mentally free. And I had my Filipino mentally disabled brother. All lives matter. All lives matter, sir. So we moved to Cohen, Arkansas. And I had, within the span of a week, I had my mailbox broken. I had, hey, if you want to talk, you can talk later. It's all good. You're right.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives
Matter! Look at this dummy right here, trying to talk crap. They're the ones that won division, y'all. Look at this. Clowns.
All lives will matter when racism is gone in this country. As long as there is racism in this country, all lives do not matter.
Amen.
Then that's why we are here. That's why we are here to fight against it.
Yeah.
We're not here for division, we're here for equality.
Yes. Equality.
Equality. There is no equality in this world when African Americans are 3 times more likely to be shot by cops when unarmed. There is no equality when there is 83% more likelihood that a black man will be charged for the same crime as a white man. There is no equality in this country.
That's right.
As a person completely behind this movement, I want to personally invite each and every one of you to realize that this is about humanitarian rights. Black Lives Matter is not a political party. It will never be a political party. You can read anything you want to on a sign, you can put anything you want to on a sign. The bottom line is, my life matters just like yours does. My kids' lives matter just like yours does. So if you want to sit there and complain and say we're bringing division, go right ahead. But if you want to join us on these steps, like everybody else has, go right ahead. The choice is yours. There's no line there. All we're doing is coming out here and inviting you. All we're doing is promoting peace. That's it. That's it. 3 words.
Let's have peace.
3 words.
Let's have peace.
Alright, so let's go back to story time. Happy story time. So when my mixed family moved into the small town of Cohen, Arkansas, within the span of a week, people, a week, that's 7 days, we had our mailbox broken. Our cat was skinned and placed on our front door. The KKK wanted to hold a rally. And then I got in my first fist fight because someone called me an N-word lover because my brother is African American. Why? Why in this day and age is that racism acceptable? Why is vandalism acceptable when it comes to racism? Why do people view that my little brother's life is less than mine? I don't get it. Everywhere I go with my little brother, when we go into shops, we have people watching him because they think he's going to steal something. Whenever we go out, we have people watch him because they think he's about to do something. My brother's mentally 3 years old in a 19-year-old's body. He is no threat. He's watched because of the color of his skin. I don't understand why, in this day and age, that is okay. I don't understand why people are so adamant against this movement when all this is just wanting equality for our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers. Why is there people behind me crying because they are so upset at the hatred in this country? People have fought for years for civil rights. They don't even want, like, think about that for a second. When the civil rights movement came out, they didn't want equal rights. It wasn't even about equal rights. They just wanted civil rights. They wanted to be treated as civil people. Like, oh yes, we are human beings too. We don't want equal rights. We just want civil. Why? That is the question everyone needs to ask themselves. Why are we on these steps? People over here have that answered. People over there just start thinking, why are we on these steps? Why do we feel the need to be on these steps? Why do we feel the need to come out here on a beautiful Saturday and fight for this? You don't think I have better things I could be doing? Heck no, I got a cooler full of beer at home. I got a pool. I could be on the pool drinking beer, but no, because this is more important than anything right now. In 20 years from now, when your kids are in history class and 2020 comes up, what are you going to say you did? Are you going to say, I was on the right side of history? Are you going to be able to say, yes, I stood with my brothers and sisters? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I cannot look my son and my daughter in the face and tell them I didn't do what was right. I didn't stand with everyone here and do what's right. I cannot lie to my kids. Why is my car running? I just noticed that. Stop.
Because it's a Jeep. We'll be right back after this moment of technical difficulties. Because it's a Jeep. Jeep sucks. That's why it's running on its own.
Another advice, do not buy a Jeep after the year 2009. They went with Chrysler, their motors are crap now. Alright. Dude, don't get a Chrysler. Anyway, where was I?
Looking your kids in the face, bro.
Looking my kids in the face 20 years from now when they're reading their history books and asking, where were you 2020? What were you doing? How would I be able to sit there and tell them, oh, well, I just sat at home and drank beer and, yeah. Like, well, Dad, there were people fighting for rights, and now I have to sit there and tell my kids that I wasn't doing anything? Nah. I want to be able to tell my kids that, yes, I fought with brothers and sisters, my American brothers and sisters, and tell them that I was with them, I stood with them, I saw them, I felt them. I want him to know that I stood up for his Uncle Tony. I mean, everyone who thinks this is about division, it's not about division. It's about noticing that there are people in this world that are below others. I mean, it's not only black lives too. You see an Arab walking down the street, what do? Oh, that's a terrorist. You see a Mexican walking down the street, he's illegal.
Right.
These are things that we all have to come to terms with. Me, myself, I'm going to talk to you now about my own ignorances I've had to come to terms with. Like, why, for the longest time, when I went to a predominantly black neighborhood, why did I lock my door? I never locked my door in my car. My door's unlocked right now. I never lock my doors, but why was it for so long where I'm like, oh, there's a lot of black people here, I'm going to lock my door? It was the mindset of everyone we are taught. Why is it that for the longest time when I saw an Arab person, I also thought, oh, I wonder what he's doing.
Right.
Why? For all the African Americans here, I want to apologize to you for my own ignorances. I've had to come to terms with my own white privilege. Yes, that is a thing. So why, like, I never understood that. Why would I go to the store with my little brother? Why was he being watched and I wasn't? He was watched because they thought he was going to steal something. I never noticed it until one day I finally woke up and I did. Whenever I went out with my little brother, I noticed that people watched him because they thought he was going to steal something. Every time we walked out the door, my little brother had a 3 times more likelihood of getting shot by people. That if anything happened, that my brother was 83 times more likely to get charged harsher than I would of the same crime. So, with that being said, who else wants to speak? All right. Love you guys.
All right. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've got a story of my family, you know, that I have black people in my family that were put down or anything.
Closer to your
I've
mouth.
got friends.
Can't hear
I've
you.
got friends that were put down. That's what I have. But I'm going to start off like this. Every police officer in Sheridan that I've talked to, not because of Black Lives Matter, I've talked to them before. I can thankfully say we have damn good police in this town. Yeah, oh, I said the D word. I'm sorry. But we do. I figured it would be okay since I'm standing up for blue lives right now, okay? We have good police in this town. Other places, they have bad police. They've done some bad stuff. They've done some stupid stuff. I've seen it firsthand, my first protest in Little Rock. Tell me why it took 3 state troopers to pull over 2 black teenagers at the age of 17 for no seatbelts. Yeah, that's what they got called for, no seatbelts. 3 state troopers for a no seatbelt in Little Rock. Tell me how that makes sense. Shoot, in this town, we're lucky if we can find one cop, you know, to be able to pull over anybody. I mean, am I right, Tyler? You drive through this town, right? I mean, you haven't drove through this town very much anymore because you moved.
I came all through here not too long ago.
But we have good police here. So the people that see, you know, everything about Little Rock and whatnot, and they're like, oh, it's not the police. That's because y'all see these police. Y'all see these good police. That's good. Maybe we should send some of our police out there to retrain them. And going what you were saying about your brother being watched, shoot. Whenever I was younger, I'd say 15, I'd walk through Walmart with one of my black friends. It was me, him, and another friend of mine who's white. I'm not saying any names because the other white friend was the one that was stealing everything. We all 3 got stopped. The only one that got searched was my black friend. Why does that make sense? It don't make no sense to me. It wasn't here in this town, but this town does have some racism. It can be fixed, but it can't be fixed from people standing over there. It can't be fixed from people screaming over here. It takes us walking there, them walking here, and us listening. Otherwise, we're going to stay divided. Black lives matter. All lives matter as well. Yes, that's what they're trying to say. They don't get it. They're not black. They don't get what they're saying with the Black Lives Matter. Why don't we change the Black Lives Matter too? Y'all matter. You matter, you matter, you matter. These people right here, this lady that's crying right here, she matters. All of y'all matter. Even if you think that I'm no better than the shit on the bottom of your boots like you told me last time, you still matter.
That's right.
Every person here matters. Whether you're trying to honk the horn and block, hey, I got a loudspeaker now, you can't block me too much. Whether you're over here holding a sign, whether you're down there looking at me talking, it don't matter. Everybody here matters. But ain't none of us gonna matter in history unless we come together. If we don't come together, all we are is just gonna be, oh look, there's a pile of dirt right there. Exactly. And this is where people are really gonna be mad at me. But I don't care. This division that's been happening, everybody likes to say that it's because of the political party in favor right now. Newsflash, it's been happening long before Trump got himself in office. It was happening before Obama was in office. It was happening before Bush Sr. was in office.
Bring back Clinton.
Bring back the pothead, really?
Yeah. Bring him back. Everybody wants some head and some weed.
You do realize that.
I'm done.
So she said. I'm just saying, look at Trump. He got a warrant on 1052. All right, bet.
All I'm saying is that until we all come together, instead of screaming at each other and we start listening to each other, it don't make a bit of difference what anybody's doing. Until we can all come together and we can actually take a step up here without getting yelled at, or somebody take a step down here without getting yelled at. the division is going to continue. The line is getting bigger. Let me put it this way. Right now, the line is, I'd say, 40 foot wide. It keeps going and going and going. It's going to look like a fat woman fell into the Grand Canyon and made it bigger. By the way, how is it?
Oh.
All I'm saying, come together and be together or fall apart and die. It's all we can do. You don't come together, you'll be dead in the ground. I'll be dead in the ground, but at least I'm trying.
I'll take it.
All right, here's Tanya James.
All right, everybody. I have been told to keep my profanity to a none. Oh, I was told to keep my profanity to none. So, y'all know Tanya. Okay, I'm gonna try real hard. I am Tanya James. Once again, back to Sheridan, representing Little Rock, Arkansas, and also Kent Brown, since that wanted to be such a major issue. But what I want to talk about, I had talked about last time. We come in peace. I know Sheridan is a town of 4,000 people. The crime rate isn't so tough because there's not many people, and then, you know, their police system, they have a good police system. They community each other. Everybody in the community seems to know each other. They seem to get along with each other. But we do have their younger generation that has reached out to us that at home they are acting like they agree with their parents or their grandparents with this racism. But they're not. This is a whole new era. If you're in like your 40s, your lower 40s, your 30s, and on down to your teens, we are open-minded. We see things different. If you don't see things different, maybe you should plan a vacation and go out to the East Coast. Go out to the West Coast. Go see where people really live life. But you have your kids in your own town afraid to tell you that this is inhumane. To just target a person due to their color. I don't care if it's black, if they're Hispanic, Latino, Filipino. I don't care, any people of color, to just discriminate against them is wrong. It's just inhumane. So if we could change one person's heart or anybody's heart to where they can go pass it on down to their kids instead of this hate. I am a big, firm believer. Hate and anger will consume you. I suffer from mental illnesses. I go through manic episodes. I black out. It will take me up to a week to calm down over an incident. So I know about it consuming me. I'd be so tired after I come down from my manic episode. I will sleep for 2 to 3 days straight and not know what happened. This is not bringing awareness to your kids. Like, you might not even know that your kids have mental issues, that they suffer from PTSD, that they suffer from all this hate that is consuming them because they don't want to hate, but they're scared of their parents. But what your parents cannot do, Sheridan, is they cannot go and vote for you. So they can't see who you vote for. So what I'm pushing for, since my last speech didn't seem to work too well, is just go and vote. And vote for who's right. I'm not saying vote Trump. Don't vote Trump. Vote for who you believe in. Nobody can see who you vote for. That is your privacy. Go. I'm not telling you lie to your parents, but if that's what you got to do, lie to your parents, tell them you voted for whoever they wanted you to, and just know that this change will be seen by my kids and my grandkids. If I have to die for it, if I have to fight for it 365 times 25 years, I don't care. I will not stop until my family stops being killed innocently by pullovers, by being stopped by traffic stops. And when I say my family, I mean my family. I'm not one of those, oh, I'm not racist, I got black kids, I got black... No, I was raised by a beautiful black queen. And all my family, except 6 immediate people, are people of color. So I am here screaming for my people in Troy, Ohio, Pickle, Ohio. We will reach you. Yes, I'm from Little Rock, but this is going to be a change. I'm going to sit down with Glenn. We're going to have a talk on how to make changes, because obviously us coming here to Sheridan protesting where y'all don't want us, it's not making the change too drastically to where we need to have changes made. I stand strong. I never sit in bleachers because I will not fold. Had several threats to me, myself personally, to my very good friend Grant. Several threats. If we made it in, how will we make it out of Sheridan? Well, me and Grant's here standing, and we're going to go back to Little Rock and be standing too. I don't take threats idly, but I also know certain people won't bust grapes at fruit fights either. So, with that being said, you already know no fear. I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. I am aware that there are people out here with guns. They was wanting Kent Brown. Well, I'm here to tell you, when they made one gun, they didn't stop there, and that's not a threat. That's just I'm saying, I got a gun, woo-hoo, who cares? Okay? Like, that means nothing to us. I'm not scared. The chief of police gave us his permission to be here. And all we want to do is just spread peace and love and tell y'all that us defunding the police does not mean taking all their money. It just means taking a portion of the police money to put into the community so that we can have centers for the kids so that they don't have to be in the streets causing problems, getting into trouble. We can have mental evaluation, social services, people that come and talk to kids that have mental illnesses. You know, this isn't just about equality for people of color, but there are people with mental illnesses that y'all are putting under a lot of pressure, pushing all this hate onto them into Sheridan. Y'all, people with mental illnesses do not handle hate and anger and rage well. I'm telling you from experience. Just spread love. Treat one another like you want to be treated. It is the golden rule. This is a biblical state, a biblical town. I love it. It's beautiful. But please stand by what you say. Stand on it. That is the golden rule in the Bible. Do unto others as you want done unto yourself. And with that being said, I don't know what more can be said. Just please stop spreading the hate at home. And kids that are old enough to vote, please know your parents do not know who you vote for. Vote for what's right. Because this is going to end. The change is here. The movement is here. Yes, all lives matter, but not until Black Lives Matter. And that's not a motion or a trend. That is a movement. And with that being said, I'm dropping this mother mic.
You're fine.
All right.
Yeah.
I just want to give a big thank you to the people of Sheridan that have decided to stay over here with us. We offered education. We told you there's no division, and you're here. So even if you don't have a sign, I don't care. You know, you cross the street. Thank you.
Listen, just like myself growing up and becoming an adult and becoming an adult, learning from experience and everything, the one thing I learned is that you have to be open. When having a discussion about these serious issues, you need to drop everything you thought you knew and try to come at it from their point. A lot of people have never seen racism. A lot of people have never experienced racism. A lot of people were raised a certain way, and I'm going to tell you right now, racism is taught. Anti-racism is taught. It shouldn't be. We should live in a world where it's like, oh yeah, she's no different than I am. When having these difficult conversations, you have to look at it from their side, what they've experienced, what they know. My own uncle has straight up texted me and said, don't talk to me anymore. Because the way he grew up was completely different than the way my mom grew up. I've been told many times that I wish your brother was still my
Hey, Laura said
All right, I'm
you
gonna
need to
get a
talk.
drink.
She said you better. Have a good one. She said you better talk.
I wish your suicide attempt actually worked. I was told, try to kill yourself again, you inner lover.
It's all about standing up.
There's so I can pull up all the messages I have of all the hatred I've received just for standing up here. The only way we actually come together in this is we open our minds to each other. You say, when you say Black Lives Matter, that means you're more important. No, it doesn't. It's just finally saying we're tired of racism in this country. I grant it, the Black Lives Matter probably should have been worded Black Lives Matter too, because a lot of people just don't get it. I guess it's hard to understand. I don't get it either. I don't. That's all we're saying. It's not saying that black people are more important than white people. It's saying that they matter. It's not even like it's funny to me because it's in this day and age we still have to say, hey, Black Lives Matter.
Right,
It's 2020. Why the hell are we having this movement still? To this day we're having this movement like, hey, Black Lives also matter, guys. In 2020, I don't even know, how long ago was Martin Luther King?
Do you know Martin Luther King was killed at the hospital? Yeah, by your people. Your people. Not white skin.
We are standing with Martin Luther King for equality. When he stood up at the Washington Monument and said, I have a dream, this is what he meant. When he said that my children, when black children and white children can stand together, look what's happening right here.
If y'all don't like me, shut up and kill me, flat out.
Don't do that. I'm right next to you. I'm right next to you. Don't be doing
I'm
that.
an open target. Because I've had so much hate come at me on that internet. I don't do that. So if y'all don't like me, it kill me. Period. I'm here. I came to Sheridan.
Kenya.
Don't come to Sheridan.
All right, calm down.
I am here. And I will take a bullet for any of my people. Any of them. Period. I will take a gun for your son. I will take a bullet for your son, ma'am. I will take a bullet for your son. Because it's got to stop. Period. Like Kevin Gates said, you don't like me, shut up or kill me. Because I won't stop.
Yeah.
I had so many people with so much hate for sharing it online. And such a beautiful community. Filled with so much hate, it makes me sad. And I'm a G. And it makes me sad. Yes, I'm a G. I'll say it loud and proud, I'm a G. And it makes me sad. All this hate. There's no room for it no more. United we stand, divided we fall. What's a G? Against them. If you don't know, you don't need to. If you don't know, you don't need to. But it's hard to get to my feelings is what I'm saying. It's hard to get to a G's feelings. And this has got my feelings hurt. Because you got lovely people in Sheridan. Glenn, I don't care what you stand for. I like you, Glenn. Me and you, we gonna talk. And we're gonna eventually get along good. Because I like you because you're a stand-up guy and I respect you. I respect you. You guys have a beautiful town. Damn it, Glenn, it's full of hate. It's full of hate. And that's something we're gonna talk about, okay?
We heard it, Glenn. We heard the people over there. They didn't think we heard it, but we heard it. They just straight up said, Black lives don't matter. We heard it, Glenn.
So Glenn, we gonna talk about one of them things, okay?
All right.
Let's hear her. I want to hear her speak. I like her.
I don't really know.
It's Sheridan White, y'all.
Hi, I'm Sheridan White. I'm a class of 2019 graduate from Sheridan. So I'm
Woo!
here.
Give a round of applause.
Thank you. And I just want to start off
to get that out by saying that I'm here on the basis of anti-racism to anybody. Okay? And I would just like to start out by saying that this town, I know that it's small, it's tight-knit, but some of the things that I've been through are something people shouldn't have to go through. You know, when you have your head slammed in a locker room and called the N-word almost for 3 straight weeks and the administration does nothing about it, that's something nobody should have to go through. Regardless of gender, race, age, nobody should have to go through that. Did I go through it? Yes. Was anything done? No. Did I end up leaving? No, because I was actually thinking that this was how it was everywhere. And I think that that's the saddest part, is I never got to a place where I felt more at home because I thought that everybody would treat me the way that I was treated here. And I've spoke to almost everybody from both sides. I've spoke to Glenn. Glenn's my friend. We're going to go have dinner next week. And I've talked to Officer Wilkerson last time I was here. And the same that I told you, I said, tomorrow actually we're going to go spread the ashes of a fallen officer who was in my family. So, and I'm half white, so that just proves that I can't really be hateful towards any of my counter-protesters. And I'm not here to say that black lives are more important than a white life. I'm not here to say that my life matters more than my grandmama's life matters. That's my grandma. Say hi. I'm just here to say that there is so much injustice in this world and injustice everywhere that we need to do better as a whole society. There needs to be more respect. There needs to be more love in this town. Not even in this town, but everywhere in this state. And I'm sure that we can all agree on that. That everybody should love one another, because that was in the Bible too. A lot of the division that we're going through is just fueling fires. I mean, this is not what anybody fought for. This is not what anybody died for. Nobody died for people to be hated against in this country. I don't care if you're white, black, nobody died to be feeling the way that I felt in high school. I'll tell you that right now. And when you talked about equality, that it's your grandson, correct, experienced bullying because of his size. You know, and that's not right either. Now, is that issue, are we pushing that issue as much as we're pushing this issue? No, and I'm sorry that we're not. I grew up fat and half black, so I promise you I got it all from both sides, black and white. I experienced hate.
It's not bad. It's just always sexist.
Yes, he's plump. Yes, ma'am. And I'm 19, still kind of thick, but we're working on it. So, all of my hate comments telling me I need to get a gym membership. I have one. I just don't go.
They called me a crackhead. I didn't know.
I just want to come here to tell y'all, before I come to every protest, whether you see it or not, I sit in my car and I pray for everybody on both sides. I pray for the officers here, I pray for everybody who's here. And I think that that's something we can all get behind regardless. You can't say that you are here to stand for equality and spew hate towards everybody. I think that we all need to work on loving one another before we can try to change something so big that's beyond us. It makes me really sad that I come back to a town that, I mean, granted I went to Russellville, and I don't know if it's much better, but it feels a little bit better. And, it makes me sad that I have to come back and just say that, hey, this is an issue. It's an issue for everybody, and everybody should care about it. I'm not saying that everybody has to come up here and hold a Black Lives Matter sign, because I know that that's not what everybody wants to do. And I agree with them that this movement should have been called Black Lives Matter too. At the end of the day, everybody as an individual has a life that matters, because we were all brought here. Jesus didn't die for my grandma's sins and not my sins. At the end of the day, Jesus Christ came and he had 3 nails in his body for everybody. And I really wish that we could all act that way. See that cool part? Isn't it? I hope that maybe one day we can all bridge the gap across the street, and we can all come together and say, hey, we're all here on the basis of love. That's why I tell everybody across the street, I say we have water, we have snacks. If you need anything, that I'm here. Hey, Annie. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for not yelling at me while I talked. I really appreciate that. It really scares me.
He wants to say something. Hi, Ricky.
How's it going?
What's your name? We gotta know.
My name's Ricky. I just want to say that I'm not here to sow any division. If anything else, I want unity among all of us. Every one of us can look at a problem in our government that affects us. It's unjust. So I hope we can all agree that whatever that problem is, whatever that injustice is, we iron it out together. I proudly served in the United States Marine Corps, took my oath before 9/11, went served on the streets of Fallujah in November 2004.
And we thank you for that.
And this isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I put my life on the line for. It's not what I had friends die for. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, all different creeds and backgrounds. That's what we're made up of. We're a melting pot. And in that, from each other, we can bring out the best in each other and all benefit from it. Who likes to eat? Who likes to cook? You can just about bet any culture or background has some good food somewhere in there. Now, do we want to limit ourselves to our own good food, or we want to try everybody else? We get closer to that by unifying, by not letting things divide us, because I can guarantee you there's more that unites us, all of us, everybody up here, everybody on this square right now, every one of us. There's more that unifies us than divides us. And we got to harness that, and we got to use that to the best of our advantage to create a better world, not only for ourselves, but for our children and our grandchildren. Because I know I want my kids to have a better world than this when they grow up, when they're my age.
That's a long time. I'm old. That gets me. Pangea.
Let me finish, man. But that's all I want. That's all I want to hit on is we have a lot more that unifies us than divides us. Let's figure out what that is. Because I talked to a couple people off to the side today, and we had more agreement than we had disagreement. We brought that out of each other. We connected on so many lines. We had so many things in common. But this one little misunderstanding that stood in between us. And I want to think in the two conversations I had off to the side today that we can solve that boundary between us. And it's within every one of us to do that. And hey, I hope everybody's on board with that. I hope that's what everybody wants. And on the Black Lives Matter thing, this does not mean only Black Lives Matter. This means Black Lives Matter too. Everyone. But we're talking about the problem that we're facing right now. What's been happening. And I can speak on that. I went to a predominantly black school in a small town. I was one of 20 students in the class and the only white student. I was one of 4 in my graduating class. I've seen things that happen that probably people who live in predominantly white areas don't see. And it's nobody's fault for not seeing it, but when it's presented to you and you're being shown the injustice and you refuse to see the writing on the wall, that's where we have a problem. That's where we have a problem. Because I'm going to tell you right now, anybody here, I don't care what color you are, I don't care what religion you are, I don't care where you came from, I don't care what country you were born in, I'll stand up for you in the same way I'll stand up for anyone else that faces injustice in this country, because it's not right and it's not what America is about. Thank you.
You want to ask if anybody wants to say something? Look, closer to the mic.
Hands. You can come talk to the mic, or come talk to somebody else. If y'all want to stay divided, you can. But if you want to unite and talk, there's going to be a bunch of us down here staying at the bottom of the steps. Anybody that wants to. I learned my lesson last time. I'm not approaching anybody. Because there's just some people that don't want to be talked to or listened to.
Okay.
That wasn't my plan today, but it is now.
I love your earrings. My wife's a Chanel fanatic,
Oh, I am too.
and I wear Chanel.
See, when we're talking about the Confederate statues, I came up with a perfect plan for it. All it takes is 100 acres of land, 2 cranes. all the Union statues, all the Confederate statues, and everything else just
Yep, that's how I agree. Now, our city, our fourth court told us. Oh, yeah, sorry, we'll swap that. They told us to gather petitions and signatures and send letters to the judge, and that the majority would rule. Well, we got 1,200 petition signatures.
I'm a little country, so y'all gotta bear with me. But do you believe in God? Everybody
Yes.
believes in some form of higher power, whether you are Buddhist, Muslim, Christian. I'm not going to ask what religion you are. Either way, we pray to somebody at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Well, that's okay too. You know, whatever you're entitled to believe in, you're entitled to believe in that. But me personally, I would just like to pray that God would give everyone some form of empathy and sympathy and open their eyes to see what all is going around them, because a lot of us choose to be blind for reasons that we don't want to say, whether we are afraid of what our friends might think, our co-workers might think, our grandma and grandpa might think. It's a little uncomfortable.
Right? His nieces.
But I just pray that everybody, you know, has that burden on their heart to start speaking
lives
up
here in Sheridan.
and to start, you know,
And I've
changing the
swung here
narrative in their
a lot.
mind and also changing the
A lot.
narrative in
And I live in
everyone
Illinois,
around
Grass,
you's
I know.
mind. Because I guarantee you, if you speak up about something, there's somebody else that feels the exact same way that you do. They're just scared to say it.
But I only met Kip through the protests and
Okay.
stuff in Little Rock. So. Yeah, I've been tear gassed and shot.
Someone said, I love those Chanel earrings, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't think she can see you. Hey, Laura.
Then you love my house. My bathroom is Chanel. My room is pink with gold CCs on the wall. Yeah, I'm a kind of Chanel person.
They came here from El Dorado just to stop by on the way to Little Rock protest. Say hi, y'all.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Where is the protest in Little Rock?
They've been moving around. This morning it was at the Capitol. Then they moved to jail, and then MacArthur Park right now. I think they just said they're at
Which group are you in? Are you in endangered species or carbon?
I'm friends with Kip.
Okay,
I'm not
that's
in
our
any,
uncle.
I know. I'm not in any particular group,
Okay.
but I've been in. I've been gassed and shot.
Really?
Were you out there while they were doing that?
No, I didn't show up till like the third day. I was scared, y'all.
Out there. A mess.
Ugh.
But I'm kind of old hat at protest.
Really?
I think right now they're at but they're kind of. I got to run this.
Let me see your sign. What's it say?
I brought stuff to make.
Defund the police. Black Lives Matter. I love it. That's awesome. Y'all like y'all's signs too.
Bottle and a $50 air filter.
Let me see your sign. We all bleed the same. Amen to that one. That's right. You got a Gatorade. You look shy. Hey guys. You got pizza?
I got double cut, alright? So I can only get one free one.
Hey
I
y'all.
can only get one.
We're happy to have y'all here. I was about to say, when's she gonna be here?
He said no justice, no pizza.
No justice, no pizza. Ain't that right? Oh, look at that. We got pizza, y'all. Y'all better come on down. We're gonna be out here for a while. Us? I'm talking to Facebook.
They just asked me flat out, is anybody from Little Rock coming? And I said no, so I think they're all finna leave. They was waiting on Kip.
She done sent this man on the hike and she ain't even touched his drink. I'm steady asking you, drink, what he doing?
That's what we should do. That's it for a